Just over a week ago, we uploaded the 100th video to this channel and we got promoted to the Premier League with Barnsley Football Club. Now today, I'm recording a video I didn't think I would be recording because it does look like we are going to be changing club. Welcome back to our FM22 Journeyman, where we attempt to go from non-league football to winning the Champions League. And I'm asking people today to remember that this save is meant to be built around realism, which is going to be the main reason for making this change today. We have had a club come in, they have asked us to go and manage their football club, and that is going to mean leaving Barnsley because it is an offer that is just too good to turn down, both financially and with a view to eventually achieving that target of winning the Champions League. But before we go and have a look at what club it is that we're going to be moving to, we're going to have a little bit of a look around Barnsley and remind ourselves of what we've done since we've been here, particularly this season. I mean, since you were last with me, I've gone and played a couple more games. We came back for a 1-0 win against Brighton. We have just lost against Arsenal and Liverpool. Our next two games up are Chelsea and Man City, so that form is probably not likely to be getting a lot better, but it does mean we're going to be able to leave the club, I think, in a pretty good position. 15 games played and 18 points on the board. It puts us in 11th place. All the board is asking us this season is to avoid relegation, and we are 8 points clear of that one. We're probably not near the European spaces, but we are very, very far away from that relegation battle. I think we are leaving the club in a much better position than we actually found it. We have, of course, got some fantastic players here. I'm going to be very, very sad to not be playing with some of them. That's assuming I don't try and take any of them to the new club. We've got the likes of Clyde Munchuk, probably my favourite player I've ever played with on FM22, just because of how good he was for the team we were at the time. I mean, he still has the potential to go on. I mean, we're saying close to full potential. He has the potential to go on and play for many years to come in the Premier League. We can see now he's wanted by Bournemouth currently. We've kind of just offered him a new contract as well, so we're probably going to hopefully up that release clause. I mean, that works in Barnsley's favour now, not necessarily mine, because it will be a bit more expensive for me to go and get him should I want to do that. We've obviously just brought in some players that are good for the future, like Calagio, who, if Clyde Munchuk was to go, looks very, very capable. We can see all these lovely green arrows, which is what we like as well. We have had a good couple of seasons, but if we have a look here, the main thing I need to show you guys is my contract. And my contract, I would just like to point out, is for £6,500 per week. Now, that's a lot of money in real life terms, and I'd be more than happy to stay at Barnsley for that. But, and it's a big but, Man City have come and asked us to join their club. And where I say this is an absolute no-brainer in terms of realism, it's Man City, the reputation so much higher than Barnsley, and they've offered me £80,000 a week. That's a little bit of a pay rise. If someone at your job comes and offers you that much of a pay rise, I don't care what it is you're having to do, whether you want to leave or not, I would advise you go. Now, the thing with Man City we will have a look at today as well is they're not quite as a dominant a force as we would think. I mean, they obviously here we can see won 4 Premier Leagues in a row before finishing second, but last season finished down in 11th place. They've still never won a Champions League, so it's quite a cool club that if we do go down and win the Champions League, we'll be the first team to do that. And they don't have European football currently as well, so it's almost a little bit of a rebuild. They brought in Thomas Tuchel to try and deal with that. He's now been fired, and they'd like us to go over, so we are going to be starting negotiations here with Manchester City. They're offering us £80,000 a week. We're going to be greedy. Can we have 91,000? 89? We could go for 90,000 a week. £90,000 a week from £6,500 a week. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off to Man City. Now, if you've taken any notice, you'll realise that one of the first 2 games we're going to play with Man City is against Barnsley, which is a little bit weird. Oh, all the ways that could have fallen. This is probably the worst place for it to fall. So we're having a look at this. Jose Mourinho was considered to be the favourite for this job, but they've ended up coming and offering it to us. So I don't know if that's just the media talking about Mourinho being favourite when it was actually us all along, because Mourinho doesn't want to go there. He doesn't have European football, so why would he be going to Man City if they're not even in Europe this season? We've obviously never had a job this high profile. Man City are currently 9th. They're not actually a huge amount above us at Barnsley, or I guess it's not us anymore, but they're not a very huge amount against Barnsley. What they do have, of course, is all of this. We've got state-of-the-art training facilities, superb youth facilities, exceptional youth recruitment, and a transfer budget of £40 million, which is substantially more than we had before. We can see there's still some of the old faces here from before. Ruben Diaz is here. Ederson is still here. Declan Rice is now here, I noticed as well. He was at West Ham definitely last season when they were in the Championship with us. So I guess that's a recent transfer. De Bruyne's still here, as is Foden, Grealish, Sterling here. You can see Alexander Isak as well. This is what the club is going to be wanting us to do. This is kind of our long-term vision here. Basically, they want us playing attacking football, develop players using the club's youth system, sign high reputation players, play entertaining football and possession football. They want us to make the most of set pieces and play high tempo pressing football. That is the club culture, so not too much that they're demanding from us, really. It is a lot more than they want us at Barnsley. And in the next 5 years, it was to sign young players to develop for profit, which is kind of what I was doing with Barnsley anyway, so I'm perfectly happy with that. They want us to work within the wage budget, perfectly happy with that. Minimum of 4-year contracts for first-team players, develop the best youth system in the country, and maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 33, which is, I feel that pretty reasonable, to be honest. By the end of the current season, they want us to qualify for the UEFA Europa League. Now, actually, they want us to finish mid-table. I'm the one who, in order to try and get myself the job, when we were in the interview stage, went, I think I can go one better and at least get us into the Europa League, because you're Man City, for God's sake, come on. They want us to get to the semi-final of the FA Cup, and they really don't care about the Carabao Cup. From then on, it's very much 1, 2, 3 seasons of working towards winning the Premier League, and then in 4 seasons time they want us to actually go on and eventually win the Premier League, so plenty of time to do it. That said, I don't think they're going to be very lenient if we're not hitting our targets. I'd assume we would get sacked very, very quickly. We can see there's some stuff going on already. There's some coaches that have been offered contracts, none of which we don't care particularly. This is all a little bit of an issue as well. De Bruyne, no interest in signing a new contract. We've got Ferland Mendy, who's a fullback. He's no interest in a new contract. Nonto as well. I mean, he's actually over at Barnsley at the moment, so that might make a bit of a difference, but no interest. These are all young players that are going out of contract. We've got some playing time expectations, all of which we'll have a proper look at some point, and we've got to read the media. But for the moment, we're going to have a look at the team and meet the players we have got here. Having a look at this straight away, that does not scream a lot of squad depth to me. 22 players. I haven't got, as far as I'm aware, no, I haven't hidden any players accidentally. So 22 players in the first team squad. As we saw, some of them we are going to be aware of. The best player here is Ruben Diaz. He's obviously there in real life. He has been here for a little while. He still looks like a very, very good defender. I mean, if we're having a look at his ratings, he's never had, I mean, his worst season was last season when Man City had an absolute shocker and he got a 7.15. So a very, very good defender. Likes to play as a ball-playing defender. I'd imagine at the age of 29 as well, we've still got a few good years from Ruben Diaz, so we're definitely trying to build the defence at least around him. We've got Ederson's our second best player. Again, another goalkeeper who's been around at Man City in real life for a long, long time. Yeah, last season, probably one to forget for him though, 57 conceded. He does seem to be having a bit of a better time of things this season. but definitely someone to keep an eye on, and maybe he's on the way out, potentially. I'm not sure what's going on there without playing with them. We've also got Phil Foden as well. Phil Foden, what is he, 26 in this universe? So plenty of time for him to be around for a long time. He looks like he's having a reasonably good season as well, and has done for every season apart from last season. Declan Rice bought him for 72 million this season from West Ham, so he needs to be all important again. 27 years old, we should have him for a few years to come yet, so that's a good sign that the first few players we're having a look at are ones that we're thinking should be around for a little while yet. Raheem Sterling at the age of 32 though, I mean, he probably could go for another good couple of seasons, but equally, do we think now that we need to cash in on him? He's been around for a number of seasons now. At the age of 32, is he still good enough to play at the top level? He also has the minor issue down here that he wants to leave the club because they haven't qualified for the Champions League. So if he is a player that does want to leave, maybe we need to look at moving him on. De Bruyne as well, although he still looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, 16 first touch, 17 passing and 17 technique. He looks like he's still got 20 vision. But again, he's another one who wants to leave due to the club failing to qualify for the Champions League. He's not actually worth a lot of money at the moment though, so if he's one we can keep, I think we do. Very much dependent on how much we're paying him in wages. 325,000. He's a bit of a club legend. Do we try and keep him around? Do we try and move him on? Not sure yet. Have to have a think about that one. Alexander Isak, he's been here for a few seasons. Jesus Christ, they paid £104 million for this guy. And his highest goal scoring season was second season in with 14 goals. I feel like if you pay that much for what is basically a striker, you need to be scoring a few more goals than that. But age of 27 again, he is perfectly capable of being around for a few more seasons. Aymeric Laporte as well. Again, another one who in real life has been at Man City for a few seasons now. He still looks perfectly capable as defender at the age of 32. He could definitely, playing as a central defender, stay there for a couple more seasons yet. But another one who wants to leave because we're not in the Champions League. This is kind of the trend here. We've also got João Felix is here. Brilliant player, of course. Some brilliant attributes in here. Another one. Basically, the whole team wants to leave because they're not in the Champions League. And this is what kind of attracted me most to this Man City team is, apart from the fact that it's Man City, and it's obviously a step up in both money and reputation compared to Barnsley, it is a little bit of a rebuild because so many of their players want to leave. They've got a bit of an aging squad, so very much the players that are here in real life. I mean, Jack Grealish here, he's 31 years old. He's been around now for, in game time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6th season. Is it time to sort of move these players on that are 31 years old? He's valued at 48 to 64 million. I feel if we could get 64 million for Jack Grealish at this age, we probably need to take it and reinvest it in a bit more of a youthful team. We've got players like this as well. Edor Militao, we've just bought him from Real Madrid, so at the age of 28 he can take over from the likes of Aymeric Laporte if we need him to. Just seen we've got Karim Adeyemi as well. He's a pretty decent player. We paid £55 million for him. He had a 20 goal season there, followed by a 16, followed by 9. 9 is a bit of a letdown last season, and he's not exactly firing in loads of goals this season. He's only 24. He is one we could very much sort of build a squad around if we needed to, but not if he's going to be scoring that amount of goals. So another one we have to have a bit of a look at, I think, definitely in the match engine and see where it's all going wrong. And then it kind of goes down from there. If we're having a look at our under 23s and under 18 squads, in terms of current ability, our next best player is Johnny White, which is actually a player I've been trying to get for years. I offered him a contract when we were at Barnsley, so around this time, and he opted to go to Man City. If we have a look at this guy, Championship standard at the moment, potentially Premier League standard. This is very much a player I wanted to bring over and make him our forever goalkeeper at Barnsley, so I'm very aware of Johnny White. And then we've obviously got Ed Malion, who was at Barnsley last season, so we're very aware of him. And Nonto, obviously, at Barnsley right now, so we have some players we're aware of. But I don't feel that's the best findings we could find looking at the under 23s and under 18s. So maybe not quite as much depth there as we'd like. And in addition to that, we're spending over the wage budget already. And we can't adjust it yet. Oh, we can't adjust it yet because we need to agree on the expectations. So let's just confirm those. We'll deal with that in a minute. Can we now move this around a little bit so we can actually cover the wages? Let's put it to there. So we've actually got £26 million in transfer budget. Probably need to work out what tactics we're going to use though. Well, I think this is the lineup I want to go with. So it's a 4-2-3-1 wide, as we can see. This would be the lineup. So we'd have Ederson in goal, back four of Mendy, Militao, Diaz and Lamperty. Then we've got Rice and De Bruyne as the midfield partnership. We've then got Isaac, Felix and Foden behind Adeyemi, and I can kind of see straight away, maybe this is why they struggled last season, because the squad depth is literally non-existent. Once we've got that starting 11 and our substitutes, outside of that, we've then got Danny Martin, who's our backup goalkeeper, who's, in all honesty, probably not very good. We've then got Laporte, who's currently injured, and Luca Net, who's also currently injured. And our ninth substitute, because we've got Isaac and Adeyemi who can play up front, our substitute is actually Ed Malayon, and that's purely because I know he can be quite good and I think he's worth playing, but he's our ninth substitute. It's a championship level striker. It's definitely not the best squad depth in the world. We've got lots of players who want to leave. I mean, I haven't pressed the dynamics page yet, but oh dear lord. De Bruyne, Sterling, Grealish, Foden, Diaz, Laporte, Farland, Mendy, Paulino, Veremiso, Felix, Nets, and that's it. All want to leave. And Sepp van der Berg wants to leave to go and get some game time. That's basically the entire first team. The entire first team wants to leave the club. Oh dear lord. This is the epitome of a rebuild. Who knew, coming over to Man City, what we are essentially doing is rebuilding a club from scratch. I mean, we are physically going to have to rebuild this club. Maybe that's why they're giving us so much time to go and win the Premier League, is because at the moment, that's like bottom of their priorities. Everyone's going to leave. The whole squad needs selling and rebuilding. This is going to be an interesting second half of the season. We are still in December. What I'm going to do now is go away, try and cheer up some players, work out our tactical formation, and then we're going to come back for the matches against Wolves and Barnsley. What a first couple of matches. Wolves, bottom of the league, and Barnsley, which is my former club, we are literally going to be playing them in 5 days time. It's not even going to be a week since I've left. Oh, the Barnsley fans are going to absolutely hate me if we win. If we can win, we're going to have to, because we are now the manager of Manchester City. Who saw that one coming? Let me know down in the comments down below if you did. I certainly didn't before I pressed record today. It's going to be an interesting rest of the season, but definitely a club I think we could go all the way with here and actually win the Champions League with. It's our third club of the save. It's a bit of a rise from Blythe Spartans to Manchester City in the course of 6 years or so. Absolute madness. If you have enjoyed today's episode though, please do drop a like down below. Maybe you're new to the channel as well, in which case hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. YouTube lets you know when we upload then, and you won't miss any of our rebuild with Manchester City. Until next time though guys, thank you very much for watching. If you do want to watch some more content from the channel before Thursday, have a look at this video next, and I'll see you then.